Good evening. 22 Eyewitness News is next. Here are a few of our top stories tonight. 45-year-old Elkhart man enters a not guilty plea today in the shotgun killings of 3 Conrail employees last year. Mayor Prickett, Democratic leader Joseph Zappia may be close to compromise over salaries for elected officials in Mishawaka.
Franklin Chung, who has had more than one run-in with the Board of Public Safety over substandard houses, was in court today to answer charges of theft and bribery. And a Waterville man charged with shooting his estranged wife last night was found dead this morning of an apparent self-inflicted wound. Some of the stories we'll cover next.
Good evening. I'm Ralph Allen with Andrea Wood. 45-year-old Rudy Blaudel stood mute today at his arraignment in Jackson, Michigan. The former Conrail engineer.
All of Michiana from South Bend, we are TV 22. From WSBT-TV, where news comes first, this is Eyewitness Midday, Michiana's only local midday television news.
WSBT-TV is your hometown station. This is WSBT Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Tensions were high today as workers at the Hummer plant finished their first.
You're watching WSBT-TV, your hometown station. This is WSBT-TV Eyewitness News, Night Shift.
Good evening. A new bill in Indianapolis is refueling the local debate over gun control. The proposal has already passed in the Senate and will soon hit the House floor. It's supposed to make state gun laws uniform and takes away the power of local governments to impose gun control ordinances. The Night Shift's Eileen Faxas reports it's a new battleground, but the weapons are the same.
22 WSBT. Now, Michiana's #1 news team. This is News 22 Night Shift.
Good evening, I'm Todd Connor. The annual...
You're watching News 22 first thing in the morning with Tom Halden. And your storm tracker forecast with meteorologist Larry Mowry. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference. We're 22 WSBT, voted Indiana's best newscast. Live, this is News 22 Midday.
Cold enough for you? The lake effect machine stopped and the deep freeze kicked in.
You're watching Michiana's only midday news. We're 22 WSBT. Live, this is News 22 at midday.
More American soldiers are killed in Iraq on the same day the coalition releases what it says is proof Saddam Hussein's sons are dead. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Collins. We will have the latest on today's dramatic developments.
We're 22 WSBT, voted Indiana's best newscast. Live, this is News 22 at 5.
Millions of parents do it, and it can work. Tips to make split-shift parenting work for your family. The government's just given a new contact lens the okay. Is it right for you?
And in weather, even though we had a mighty cold day today, a big warm-up is in store. All the details coming up in your storm tracker forecast.
Good evening, I'm Cindy Ward. Deborah Daniel has the night off. We avoided the heavy snows, but not the biting cold temperature.
You're watching News 22 at 5 with Cindy Ward and Deborah Daniel. And your storm tracker forecast with meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference.
News 22 Storm Tracker WeatherNet is brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group.
We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference. Live, this is News 22 at 5:30.
And good evening. I'm Mike Collins. Deborah is on.
You're watching News 22 at 5:30 with Mike Collins and Deborah Daniel. And your storm tracker forecast with meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference. We're 22 WSBT, voted Indiana's best newscast. Live, this is News 22 at 6.
They were few in number, but still they braved the South Bend cold to protest the Secretary of the Interior.
Plus, maybe there is such a thing as destiny. David Haw goes inside the lines of the Never Say Die LaSalle Lions.
And our top story, we almost made it through winter without going below zero. Almost, but not quite. Good evening. This is News 22 at 6. I'm Cindy Ward.
And I'm Mike Collins. Well, the coldest air of the season has Michiana in the deep freeze tonight.
You're watching 22 WSBT, voted Outstanding News Operation. Live, this is News 22 at 6.
Completely on fire.
He was one of the NBA's most idolized players. But what do local kids think of Kobe now?
Plus, already in prison, the man who ran off with a Michiana teenager could be in more trouble.
And our top story, if Michiana were in Texas, then last night's rain would have been an official gully washer. Good evening. This is News 22 at 6. I'm Cindy Ward.
And I'm Mike Collins.
Michiana.
You're watching News 22 at 6 with Cindy Ward and Mike Collins. Your Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg and Charlie Adams Sports. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference. We're 22 WSBT, voted Indiana's best newscast. Live, this is News 22 at 11.
7 Americans die in combat in Afghanistan.
And in weather, sub-zero temperatures this morning, but 50-degree readings later in the week. We'll talk all about it and show you the 7-day in the first 11 minutes.
And new at 11, South Bend schools may face even more money trouble. All the news, weather, and sports in the first 11 minutes. Good evening. This is News 22, 11 at 11. I'm Cindy Ward. Deborah is off tonight. The trial of the man commencement address. Well, this year, another North American president will carry that honor. And tired of a car that's just a convertible? This car actually contracts.
You're watching News 22 at 11 with Cindy Ward and Deborah Daniel. Your Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg and Mike Stack with sports. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference.
We flirted with record highs again today, but cooler air is on our doorstep. I'll show you that, plus some storms headed our direction.
They present a lot of problems for us. And I think that, you know, we're definitely concerned and focused on trying to address those as of today.
In other words, Coach Weiss knows Michigan State poses a threat to the so far undefeated season.
And our top story, it's big, expensive, and controversial. And tonight, we should know the future of a big plant proposed for St. Joseph County.
Live, this is News 22 at 6.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Collins.
I'm Deborah Daniel. Cindy has the night off.
A big decision is brewing at the County City Building.
That's right. My county council members are trying to find a balance between livelihood and lifestyle. For months, people across the area debated and protested a proposed power plant near New Carlisle. And it all comes.
You're watching News 22 at 6 with Cindy Ward and Mike Collins. Your Storm Tracker forecast with meteorologist Rick Mecklenburg and sports with Charlie Adams. We're 22 WSBT, together making a difference.
Closed cap.
You're watching WSBT, your local news leader. First thing in the morning.
Live in high definition, this is WSBT News at 6.
It is a situation that high school bands across the country face from time to time. After being invited to play at special events around the country, they're faced with having to pick up the tab to get there.
Yeah, that is certainly the case. Locally, WSBT's Ed Ernstis tells us about one local high school that came up with a different kind of fundraiser that also helped.
You're watching WSBT, your local news leader. Voted best newscast and best weather operation by the Associated Press. First in high definition. This is WSBT News at 5. You're watching WSBT, your local news leader. Voted best newscast and best weather operation by the Associated Press. First in high definition. This is WSBT News at 6.
This is WSBT News First Thing in the Morning.
Is there a problem in the water at the Jack Nicklaus designed golf course in Benton Harbor? This morning we'll explain why the Environmental Protection Agency is investigating. Two candidates for Congress debate the Keystone Pipeline. If built, would it really lower gas prices?
It won't change our price 1 penny at the pump.
And a controversial comment made during Indiana's Senate debate leads to a response from the Mitt Romney campaign.
Live in high definition, this is WSBT News First Thing in the Morning.
Mitt Romney is distancing himself this morning from Indiana.
This is WSBT News at 11.
Controversial comments about rape from a candidate for Indiana's Senate seat. We'll tell you what was said.
And our top story, one hospital, dozens of patients with fungal meningitis. Now, Elkhart General Hospital has an entire unit devoted to treating local victims caught in this national outbreak.
Live in high definition, this is WSBT News at 11.
Doctors at Elkhart General have a daunting task diagnosing and treating everyone who got that tainted back pain medicine.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT-22 First in the Morning with Bob Montgomery and Leanne Tokars.
It is 5 o'clock on this Wednesday, January 5th. Several big breaking stories we're following this morning.
And we start with how your kids' schools fared on last year's ISTEP scores. Today is finally the day we get to see exactly how schools did on those standardized tests. The scores have been delayed over and over because of the new transition to tougher standards and concerns over scoring glitches. Now, these scores are crucial because they're tied to teacher pay and school accountability grades. Kristen Bean is
Midday.
We've just learned investigators now think they know the cause of a recent deadly train crash in Germany. Mishawaka is turning to technology to keep you safe when you visit city parks. And Pope Francis on his way right now to one of the most dangerous areas in the Western Hemisphere.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT-22 News at midday.
Temperatures are still hovering around the freezing mark right now as we take a live look in South Bend. That is on the left side of the screen. Black ice could be a little bit of an issue as well around some area roadways on the right. That's the aftermath of one of just a couple of dozen crashes we reported this morning because of slick roads. Now, no injuries in that particular crash at McKinley and Capitol in Mishawaka. WSBT 22 meteorologist Carrie Pujo joins us now.
All right, Matt, thank you. Now at 5, who would do this? A man says a Grinch chopped down a pine tree at his home.
St. Joseph County is the worst in the state when it comes to untested rape kits. We look into what's behind the backlog.
And it is finally coming, what could be our first measurable snowfall of the season.
All these stories right now on WSBT 22 News at 5.
First, fast, accurate with Jennifer Copeland and Todd Connor. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 5.
All right, take a look at all this snow. This is video from Michigan Tech in the Upper Peninsula. The area is certainly no stranger to a lot of lake effect snow, and soon you could also see some snow.
That's right. Live look at Silver Beach in St. Joseph. Look at the waves out there. That wind causing all of those waves could be bringing us that lake effect snow. WSBT 22 meteorologist Abby Wepler is here with us. All right, Abby, what are we expecting? When are we thinking this will start?
You know what? We're actually going to see it start late tonight, mainly overnight. So if you need to get anything done this evening, you will not be battling.
Now at 10.
Notre Dame takes the field for the first time this season tomorrow. Why they expect to make it to the college football playoffs. Are the presidential candidates manipulating the media? We take a closer look. 400 geese euthanized in Mishawaka due to health concerns. Tonight, close to 50 people turn out for a vigil.
First, fast, accurate, live. This is WSBT 22 News on Fox.
Well, new at 10, emotions are high in the community after the city of Mishawaka hired a company to remove and kill 400 geese. Animal rights activists held a vigil for the geese in front of City Hall tonight. WSBT 22's Heather Black was there. And Heather, how many people came out for this?
Well, Rick, there were...
Now at 11.
They may not use the modern conveniences, but scientists say the Amish have something that could make us all healthier. They say they're outraged by Mishawaka's decision to kill geese. Tonight, they protested outside City Hall. It's a small device that can save someone's life, but its cost is skyrocketing.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 11.
It's a potentially life-saving drug that millions of families depend on every day. And new at 11, the costs for epinephrine shots have skyrocketed in the past 10 years. WSBT 22's Patrick Roth is at the live desk for us. And Patrick, the costs for these are up more than 4.
Now at 11, the winter cold has returned. Now we are tracking lake effect snow.
An officer is being called a hero after saving the life of a 12-year-old. We have their reunion.
Plus, a new issue tonight in the debate over South Bend Schools' reorganization plan. WSBT 22 News at 11 starts right now.
First, fast, accurate. With Todd Connor and Dane Murray. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 11.
And a live look on storm tracker radar. As you can see, snow bands are setting up across Michigan. That snow will be setting up in our area soon.
How much can you expect when you wake up tomorrow? For that answer, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Rudkin. Matt?
Yeah, a couple of inches of snow.